Okay, thank you. Well, the good thing about not starting first is that you have the time to see what other people have done. But the problem here when you have with people like these, so it makes it difficult to do something different because they set the bar very high. So hopefully, hopefully I'll be doing something that you will find interesting. So, one, just to put things in context before we start, before I just jump into my plan. I used to teach first-year students economics, and third-year students I used to teach them political international political economy. From this year, I'll be teaching econometrics. So, with the econometrics class, you have practical lab sessions, and with these lab sessions, what is the usual way to do this is you go through examples with the students, and the students are following you at the same time. So what happened is that because you don't have the same, not everyone is at the same level, not everyone is working at the same pace, so that makes some of the students going very, like, they can catch up with you very quickly, very easily, but others are struggling to catch up with you. So what happened, those who are probably good students, they end up on the Facebook because they actually feeling bored because they've done the task you asked them to do, and you're spending like probably 5-10 minutes going around the class to show the others how to do that. So what I'm trying to do this year is different, and I'm trying it for the first time, which is called the flipped classroom. So what is the idea here is that I'll be recording the example that I was supposed to do during the class, and all the students will have to do that before they come. And in the class, then this is the time for fun. So where we come and just have discussions, we do more examples, and through the examples, and they all work on these examples, and just while I'm going around to help those students who are struggling with the exam. So to do this today, in this session, I thought rather than doing some econometrics, rather than doing something that it would be difficult to find the software, it was a very good idea to have Python online, so you can do this very easily. But I think with eViews it will be very difficult because it will take time to install. So what I thought to do is to give a very short introduction about what I would do with the first-year students who coming to study economics for the first time. So I thought, what would be the first seminar look like? So I would record a video, a very short video. Don't worry, it's not really too long. So I want you to watch it. It's only 5 minutes. I was very rushed. I did it in the morning today. So, all what I want you to do is just watch that 5 minutes video, and then we come back and discuss the main ideas in this video. So I'm not gonna go beyond the 10-15 minutes that is allocated for me. Is it working?
Hello everyone, this is Hani Abdul, a lecturer in economics at Swansea University. An important question that comes to a first-year student who study economics for the first time is, what is economics? What I'm trying to show you today is that economics is related to everyone's daily life. So it doesn't matter really whether you study economics or not, whether you understand economics or not, you actually do economics. So the main purpose of this video is to show you that we all do economics in our daily life. So what is all economics about? Economics is about the economic problem. And what we mean by the economic problem comes from the fact that resources are limited. And this problem faces everyone, faces all economic units. When we talk about economic units, we mean individuals, firms, countries, etc. So it could be any unit that make decisions. So when it comes to this point, so we actually thinking of the scarce resources as a relative concept. So scarcity here is just a relative concept. So resources are scarce compared to our wants. So we have limited resources and unlimited wants. So it doesn't really matter how rich an individual is or how rich a country is, so they still face the economic problem. So that means the economic problem faces poor countries, rich countries, poor individuals, rich individuals, and also with the same case with firms. So big firms, small firms, they all face economic problems. So the economic problem comes from the fact that we have limited resources and we want to use these limited resources in the most efficient way to meet our wants. So in that sense, we all face the economic problem. So we all do economics in that sense in our daily life. So when economic units have to make choices to cope with this scarcity, then they actually give up something else. So, and that's a very important concept in economics. So let's just go back to the main problem. So the main problem is that we have limited resources and unlimited wants. So you always want more than what you can, and based on that, you really need to make a choice. So you need to decide what to buy and what not to buy. So when you go to the supermarket, for example, you actually looking at how much money you have in your pocket or in your bank account, or how much you have in your budget for shopping, and then you decide what you really need to buy. And based on that, you can't really buy everything in the supermarket, so you have to make a decision, you have to make choices, you have to decide what to buy and what not to buy. Since you make a choice, that means you give up something else. So allocating resources creates trade-offs, exchange or giving out one thing to get another. So another example is on a Saturday night, a student would decide to study or have fun with friends, because they can't do both at the same time. So they need to really decide. So and that is how we all do economics in our daily life. So economics is not the study of money. Economics is the study of making these choices, the study of how economic units make choices. So when we talk about economic units, again, we actually mean individuals or firms or countries and etc. We say these are in units that can make a choice. So economics is the study of making choices. So this will take us to a very important concept in economics, which is the opportunity cost. So the opportunity cost of a choice is the highest valued alternative that must be given up to get this choice. So every choice has an opportunity cost, because as we say, when you decide, at the same time you decide to buy something, you decide not to buy something else. So the cost of getting a college degree could be everything you give up to get that degree. So if that was tuition fees or like a job opportunity or whatever, so everything or what you could have done if you didn't choose to do a college degree, that could be included in the opportunity cost.
Okay, so I plan to do two more slides, but then I thought it's 5 minutes, and I thought I got 15 minutes today. So I stop at this point. Just to explain this again, the students should have watched this before the seminar, so not during the seminar. Okay. So then what we come next to, now they have the main idea of what is economics, what is the opportunity cost. Then it's time to go through an example with the students, given that we already know the basic idea of what is economics. One important thing before I just jump to the example, to highlight is that most people, and most students, when I ask them for the first time, when you tell them what is economics, they say economics is about money. Economics is not about money, it's how you spend your money. That's the idea. So it's different. So how you make choices. Okay, how you make decision about your resources, the way you use your resources, that's what we do, that's what we study in economics. So don't study money itself, we study how you use this money. And money is only one type of resource. So you could think of everything in your life as a resource. And I tell you, the first lecture in economics, first year economics, is very important to explain that we all do economics. it doesn't matter really you are in economics or not. So it doesn't matter if you studied economics or not. We all do economics, and hopefully after the first lecture, the students will go home with this concept. So the idea now is to highlight in the seminar one of the main ideas of important ideas or concepts in economics, which is the opportunity cost. So when you decide to buy something, when you decide to do something, then you give up doing something else or buying something else. So to reinforce this concept, you need to give them an example, especially with the idea of the best alternative or the highest valued alternative. So for example, a very typical example I usually give in the first lecture is there is a student, and this student is facing, there's an individual first, so facing he or she facing two choices. So either to go to uni, so they're choosing between going to uni or taking a job offer. So if they go to uni, they will spend 20,000 as fees, and let's say 10,000 for their living expenses. If they decide to go to the job market, they will offer 3. So they could choose one of these. So one of these 3 jobs, let's say 1, 2, 3. So the first job offer they receive will give them £20,000 a year, and the second one is 25, and the third one will be 30,000. So these are the choices. This is what they're choosing from. So this individual chooses to be a student, chooses to go for university. Then I ask the students, what is the opportunity cost? Can anyone tell me? How much is the opportunity cost here? So I try to value this with money. So just to make it straightforward, how we calculate, how every choice we make in our life comes with a cost. Oh, 50,000, let's say it's 1 year course. Let's say it's a master's degree, 1 year course, and this is the cost for the whole year. 20,000 tuition fees, 10,000 is the living expenses. I'm just giving just rough numbers.
Is it 60 then?
Yeah.
So that's the idea, exactly. So because the idea here is that you can't do both at the same time. So you can't go to the university and do and take the job offer. So you have to choose. And since you choose to do the university, the degree, then this will cost you 30,000 just to pay for the university degree. But this is not all. This is not everything, because you've actually given up the job opportunity you had. And because in the same time you can't do the 3 jobs at the same time. So what we choose from here is the best alternative. So which one is the best alternative here? Is the job with 30,000 pound a year. So that's the main idea of the opportunity cost. So let's go back to the main idea of the workshop or the seminar of the first lecture, is that we all do economics. So can you come up with any example that any choices you've made yesterday or today? And I'll tell you how that is economics. So my job is to explain to you how this is economics. Tell me that what you had to choose between, and I'll tell you how we look at this as economics. Because unfortunately, the one that the slide I skipped is the economic way of thinking. How economists think, how economists think. So, and I'll show you how that applies to you as well, and how that you do this naturally. You don't need to be an economist to do that, or to know that you do that. You actually do it, but probably without realizing that you're doing it. So, any examples? Should I start first? Here, go on.
I guess one example would be coming to the 3-day workshop.
Yes.
Teaching intensive versus
Exactly.
spending those 3 days preparing for my first lecture on Monday week.
Exactly. What does that mean then? Time is resources. So it's not only about money. Yeah? You choose to be here today. This is a very important example, because what could you have done if you were not here today preparing for your teaching? I could have been like sleeping, being like having coffee somewhere now. Yeah? So the way you allocate your resources here, that's what we're looking at in economics. And if students get this from the first lecture, then they start looking at economics, at the study of economics in a different way. Okay? Not just some textbook, reading or some textbook examples. They actually start relating everything to their daily life. Okay, so choosing time is resources. If you've got 24 hours in your day, so the way you allocate these hours among different activities, that's what we are interested in economics. And probably you'll be surprised if you know that economics now became part of everything. So you'll have economics of happiness, people doing research about economics of happiness, people doing research on economics of religion, how religion affects your choices, your decisions. I'm a Muslim person, I don't drink alcohol, so I've never bought alcohol in my life. So it doesn't matter even if it is offered for free. But according to economic theory, it tells you, so when the price goes down, you buy more. I'm not going to buy it all, because there is a constraint here. So if you understand the economics of religion, you may understand choices as well. So what we're trying to do as economists, we're trying to understand these choices. We're trying to understand how people, how individuals, how households, what they call the economic units, which could be, as I said, households, individuals, firms, or even countries or societies, make these choices. Okay? And that's something that has to be very clear from the beginning to students. And that's what I choose today. And hopefully, what I'm saying today would explain to you that you, coming from different discipline, you actually do economics every day. So if you think of how you spend your money, that's economics. If you think how you spend your time, that's economics. And even if you think the way you came to here, if you have choice to drive or come cycling, or even if you think about your health, so your choice now, your decisions, what you decide to do now, affect your health in the long term. So if you decide today to have the fun or the joy or the happiness of having junk food and burger and stuff, well, this affects you. You're actually paying the cost later on in your life. Okay, but if you decide to spend more time in the gym today and being healthy, okay, monitoring your heart beating like what you did today, so then it's something that will pay off in the long term. So these are choices, and that's what we are, is the choices we make. Thank you.